Hello folks, my name is Kevin W. McLeish. I'm a New York City police officer, United States Marines, and I'm one of GrandMaster Irving Soto's stewards. I started with GrandMaster late 94, early 95, started with two of his other students. I was allowed to retain one of my black belts from one of my other systems, but I paid my dues on the GrandMaster Soto, especially after I announced that he knew one of my cousins, Frank Mills. But GrandMaster Soto, he's the real deal, and I'm not going to get into what people say on the internet because that's not my thing. But you can see, as they always saying, you see the proof is in the pudding. You know, you see his skills. I first heard of GrandMaster Soto back in the early 70s when I was studying Kung Fu, and I would go to certain tournaments or go to Grandmaster Aaron Banks shows. I seen him there, and he just like really blew my fucking mind apart. It's just the things that he accomplished and things he can do, you know. So if you got anything to say about the man, say it to his face. You know, if you think you're that bad, step to him. You know, I don't want to have a war of words. You know, I'm just saying, if you're a true man, if you truly feel that much in your beliefs and your contradictions, step to the man. You know, don't. It's very easy to say on film this or in words this. You know, if you really feel what you believe, say it to the man. You know, but as my mom says, if you don't have nothing good to say about someone, don't say it at all. You know, everybody has an opinion. Opinions are like assholes. Everybody has one. Everybody's entitled to their opinions. You know, I don't speak up on that. I don't get on this he said, she said shit. You know, but you seen the man do his demonstrations. You know, that's facts right there. That could be said. Iron palm, vibrating palm. I see him in California do a demonstration with this, made a rock disintegrate, you know, or brick. It just blew up. You know, I seen he said my fellow black belts in the chest with the vibrating palm and totally knocked him out several feet back. You know, it's not that I haven't seen certain things like this before. I have, but the stuff that he does, you know, is.
In your opinion, what makes him different from everybody else?
He's real. He speaks his mind. You know, it's just totally different. I mean, there were others before him. He falls within that realm. Grandmaster Powell, you know, Grandmaster Duncan. These are all brothers. You know, they're him being of a man of color. That is like a uniformity. Is everybody united. But them type of brothers, you know, they did their things on the street, you know. I mean, GrandMaster Soto, he was a New York City sheriff, and I know one of his partners is a fireman now, and some of the stuff he told me the Grandmaster did, that he had, you know, they would send him in to go through a door first, and he would kick a door off the hinges, and he would just go in, and he'll come back with 3 guys cuffed and have their guns or something. You know, the guys, you know, real, you know. A lot of stuff that I learned from him, it's real techniques, Tami Ju-Jitsu, you know, and the other stuff that I'm not privileged to talk about.
Out of all the stuff you learned, is it effective? Does it work?
The stuff that I'm allowed to use within under police guidelines. So, you know, I want to talk about some of the stuff I did use that I'm not supposed to. But the stuff that I'm allowed to do, which falls in the same guidelines.
It works?
Oh yeah, wrist locks, come along. You know, like I stated earlier, you know, if you feel that strongly in your convictions, you know, don't hide behind a camera or hide behind a piece of paper. You know, go to his website, ask to speak to him in person, and say what you got to say. You know, step to the man face to face. I mean, it's very easy to be behind a camera or a computer. And, you know, like I was, I'm 48, I'm old school. And my uncles always taught me, my cousin, my other seafoods, and my mother, especially my mother. If you got something to say to someone, say it to their face. you know, if you feel that strongly, you know, I wouldn't advise you to try to step to him with hands, but, you know, just speak your mind. You know, I mean, I don't know what's going through your head or what animosity you have towards the man, especially if you don't know him, to say anything about him. I mean, but it's very easy to say something about someone that's not here or is passing another life. Like people talk about Bruce Lee, say Bruce Lee wasn't real, and they say the same thing about Grandmaster Soto. You know, I mean, there's a dozen Grandmasters I can go about saying people talk shit about. You know, Grandmaster Powell, Grandmaster Duncan, he's still around. A lot of people say that people sometimes like start controversy or just like talk shit. You know.
Well, he must be doing something right if they're talking about him.
Yeah, you know, they should ask him to pay them rent because he's living in their heads. You know, so they should be getting a check from him. You know, I mean, you hear this man's not even here on this coast, and you're talking this stuff about him. I mean, he must really be that important. You know, you must have nothing in your life to think and nothing else but to say something about this man. You know, it's like my wife said, you know, people in these magazines, they write all about these movie stars. You know what? Why put money in their pocket? They ain't putting money in your pocket. You know, but these people must really think a lot about him because they're talking about him, whether it's good or bad. Grandmaster Soto, you know, we already had our talk. You know, your time is coming. You know, like I said, it's God's time, but you'll get your due. You know, just keep on doing what you gotta do, and still waiting for that book to come out. You know, and keep doing your music. Us.